All week long, I have been puzzling over one simple little question. Daytime, nighttime, washing dishes, clicking stupid stuff on Instagram. One question. When I go home this weekend and I unplug and I'm standing on a riverbank trying and failing to catch a fish, I will still be thinking about this one thing. Where's all that money going? Could the Trump Presidential Inaugural Committee, which raised, what, 3 times, 4 times as much money as they needed to spend for the actual inauguration this year, could that same inaugural committee use the leftovers, use the unaccounted for tens of millions of dollars they have left over? Could they use that to pay for other stuff now? Like maybe stuff they didn't want to talk about paying for, like people's legal defenses for the Russia scandal. I put that question last night to Craig Holman from Public Citizen. Could the inaugural committee pay the legal bills for campaign officials or for administration officials? Legally, do you think that's possible that they could do that?
Yes, they can do that. The only rule when it comes to inaugural funds is that the source of funds has to be disclosed after the inauguration. But how that money gets spent is anyone's guess. No rules, no regulations. It can, quite frankly, it could even go into the pocket of Donald Trump if he chose to do so.
Wow.
Yes, it's a Wild West area.
A Wild West area. That was what we heard from Craig Holman last night, who knows as much about American campaign finance as anyone on earth. And even though I was surprised enough by what he said to respond with just, wow, which you're not supposed to do on TV, it really does appear, no surprise, that he's right. What he said last night is right. It shocked me when I heard it, but we talked to 2 different experts on this stuff today who told us, yeah, he's right. Told us the same thing. There really is very little law about how an inauguration committee can spend any money that they have left over after the shindigs. I wonder if that's why they raised triple and quadruple the amount of money they needed. I mean, the committee does have to fill out this one form 3 months later disclosing who gave more than $200, how much they gave, and they have to report how much they raised overall. We've seen that, but that's it. That's the end of the required reporting ever. That's how we know they raised $107 million. What they do with it is the question. After they file that one thing, anything that could be considered to fit with the mission of celebrating the president's victory, anything they want to spend on, go for it. No disclosure. That's pretty much the Wild West. Saddle up. Write checks to lawyers if you want for the president or his family or anybody else. Go ahead. The sheriff is drunk and passed out under a shade tree. Do whatever you need to do. Spend it. I do have one update to report on this tonight, though. For the record, we've still got an overall no comment from the inaugural fund as to whether or not the inauguration money will be used to pay Russia legal fees or whether it has been used to pay Russia legal fees. We asked them that and they told us no comment. But I can report that Vice President Mike Pence, for one, is not using inauguration funds to pay for his legal defense. Mike Pence does have highfalutin legal representation on Russia. We know because his lawyer returns our calls, and he's very nice. But we don't know at all how Pence is paying for this legal representation. His very nice lawyer tells us that the vice president is not using inauguration funds. He also says the vice president is not using Trump re-election campaign money. He also tells us that the vice president is not using money from the RNC. He also tells us that the vice president is not using money from his own PAC. But he is somehow paying his lawyer, right? We're checking now to see if maybe Mike Pence is selling his plasma. Or like cleaning out his garage on Craigslist. I don't know. We'll keep figuring on it. Watch this space.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.